Okay. And welcome. I'm Kim Wade from Inner Gaze. Thank you so much for coming. It truly is so heartwarming to have everybody here, whether you're watching live or coming to the recording later for gentle yoga. This is the time that the self-care really is our health care. So getting into the moving of just not the physical body, but also moving that mental body, moving that spirit body. You know, we don't want to just be exercising. We want to be noticing our movements. One thing I really like to remind folks of when you can really be in the moment, when you can really focus on the here and the now, you're not worried, you're not stressed, you're not fearful, you are in the moment. So the more you can be in present moment, the more that pain body or that stress body or anxious body is going to sort of leave, because you're focusing on that place behind. We talked about the aware behind the aware. Okay, so that's kind of what I want to talk about today, is sort of leaning back into this present moment, this here and now. In yoga, we use the breathing technique Ujjayi, right? That Ujjayi, that victorious warrior breathing, because when we breathe in that sound, that loud noising breath, we are not able to jump into the future or jump into the past. It's a great anchoring breath to bring us into the moment. So that's what I wanted to play with today, is here and now, and practicing that breath work so we can lean in. All right. So finding yourself in a comfortable position. What we're going to do today to start off with is we're going to do a check-in to see how noisy your mind is. So go ahead and turn off your phones, close the doors to the kids and the pets. Although the pets are pretty cool with the practice. I've seen a lot of really fun pictures with that. And let's just big exhale. Big exhales. So just gently closing your eyes if that feels right for you, closing your eyes. Just notice how the breath is feeling for you today. Does it feel like it's moving smooth? Does it feel choppy? Just check and see what's happening for you. So all we're doing right now is just noticing the breath, noticing the exhale, noticing the inhale. So we're going to just notice the mind, okay? We're going to notice our minds. Some days the minds are racing. Some days the minds are pretty cool, pretty chill. We want to just notice what they're doing. Sometimes we feel like our thoughts are happening to us. We're just being rained on and we're victims to them. We just have to allow them to pound against us. But that's actually not true. Mindfulness is to notice the thoughts passing like clouds on a blue sky. You don't need to get caught up in any kind of thought. You just watch them pass by. So I'd like to do a little exploration here where we're going to try focusing our mind on just quieting and for 3 minutes. And every time that your mind jumps out of this task, I want you to tap your index and thumb together, okay? And just notice that you did it. Again, here's the instructions. We're going to focus our mind on breathing, just watching yourself breathe. We're going to come into a rhythm. Okay, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So that's the task, is for you to not let yourself go into any other thought patterns, the future, the past, but you're just focusing on the inhale and the exhale. Those of you who know that Ujjayi breathing, I want you to be bringing that into you right now. That Okay, inhale. So in just a moment, I'm literally going to set a timer for 3 minutes. Every 30 seconds, I'm going to ring a bell, okay? And that is your little alarm that's like, oh, I left the task and I'm going to bring myself back here. Some of you, when the bell rings, you'll notice, yeah, I was doing it fine. That is part of what we're just noticing, is how much does your mind wander off, okay? Just a little bit of a task here for us to see where we're showing up. All right, so calm and steady breaths. Gently close your eyes, allowing your mind to really sit still on just watching the breath. Anytime that your mind and breath wander off, just tap the index and thumb together. Notice that you did it. And every time the bell rings, notice if you're doing it. And we'll just see. Okay, ready and begin. And gently coming back. Coming back. So no judgments, no like, I'm so good at that or I'm so bad at that. Nothing like that. It's just awareness, just noticing where you're showing up today. Very key. And then I want to go one more minute, because part of what I want to do in all these classes, in all my classes ever, is I want you to have an understanding of how the body and the mind are connected. And most of you, if not all of you, know that, right? You know that. But we can do exercise all day long, but if you're angry, if you're negative, if you're toxic, you're not healthy. So we want to make sure that what we're thinking about, what we're physically doing, is all sort of aligned together. I like to say, if you're watching what you eat and you're running every day and you're doing all these things, but you're walking off pissed off all the time, that's not healthy. That's not balanced. So bringing these together, noticing these together. So the last thing I want to do with this awareness is I want you to just do nothing for 1 minute, okay? Wherever you are. Now, some of you will, again, notice the clutter in your room. There's my glasses. I was looking for these. You'll notice the clutter. See what happened? I found my glasses. You'll notice the clutter in your room. You'll start to be really critical of yourself, or really, I love the way that looked. You'll start to sort of judge. And I want you to just see if you can practice the being, just being. Okay. So we're going to do 30 seconds of absolutely nothing, just being in the moment. One of the things I like to do is just listen to the sounds in the room. Okay. Notice what your mind wants to do. Notice what your mind wants to jump to, and just gently notice it and bring it back. So 30 seconds of nothing. Here we go. Good. And gently coming back. So I would love, if you want homework, I'd love you to actually set that on your timer a couple of times a day, maybe 9 in the morning, maybe 2, maybe 7 at night, where you have a little alarm that goes off on your phone and you just do 30 seconds of nothing, teaching it to our kids too. It's a nice way to get out of that boat ride, right? That boat that's just going with our normal thought patterns, and to pause. All right. So I hope that is beneficial to you. All right, let's come into sitting up nice and tall. So we have 2 blocks. We have a strap and we have a blanket. We're going to sit up on our blocks. The point of sitting on the blocks is when we are finding that the knees are higher than the hips, it means that our back is typically curving like this. And so sitting up nice and tall gives us a balanced pelvis so that we can then sit up nice and tall. Not everybody needs the blocks, but perhaps you do. So finding a position that feels really tall for you, we're going to come into Baddha Konasana, bound angle, and we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. Okay, now lean back in space. Imagine that you're leaning against a wall behind you. Do you feel how one shoulder blade is leaning on the wall, but maybe the other one's poking away? See if you can fold both shoulder blades on the wall behind you, as well as the back of the head. I'm going to go ahead and hold my knees. You could also put your hands wherever feels comfortable for you. And we're going to sit up nice and tall. This first breath round, we're going to just concentrate on that calm and steady Samavriti pattern. Equal inhale and equal exhale. Start to settle in on what it is you need from the class today. We'll take 5 more breaths, settling in on that intention. See if you can keep your mind on the moment. Watch those breaths. Settling in on that mantra, that 1 or 2 word phrase. Why are you here? How can you be served from our practice? One more big breath. Beautiful. On the inhale, taking your arms up halfway, halfway. See if you can reach both sides of the room. And now bring your attention to the tops of your thigh bones. Pull the thigh bones to the floor with just the energy. Pull the thigh bones towards the floor and see if you can touch the ceiling with the top of your head. I'm really curious if you can touch the ceiling with the top of your head. Really extending. It's moving from those thighs, reaching up. 2 more deep breaths. Really extending, using that energy to reach up and drop down. 1 more big breath. Very dynamic movement. Looks easy. And then exhale, turning the palms down and release. Going up again. Thigh bones pulling down. Inhale, reach up. All the way up. Now interlace your fingers. Turn the palms up. Pull those thigh bones down. Really feel that heaviness. And now over towards the left. Over towards the left. Keep dropping that left thigh bone and extending through those ribs. Very dynamic, nothing floppy here. 1 more. Beautiful. Exhale, come on up. Feel the energy of open those arms, palms up, palms down, and rest. So very dynamic. Here we are again. Nice long spine. Inhale, reach it up. Interlace, exhale, palms facing up. Anchor that left sits bone, that left thigh bone as you're reaching. So we're practicing managing our mind. We're practicing managing the mind. Keep bringing the mind here if you find yourself wandering. Why? Because your body is reacting to your thoughts. Whether you look like you're doing this or not, if your mind is wandering, your body is reacting to that. 1 more deep breath. Beautiful. Inhale, come on up, open and release. Okay, and we're just going to roll the shoulders. So if I'm thinking stressful thoughts, then my body is going to react to the stress. So I have to notice what I'm thinking about. I have to notice what I'm thinking about. The body is always listening to what I'm thinking. So learning how to manage that mind is super key, super key. Okay. All right. Now we're going to open Upavista Konasana. Upavista Konasana. Double check that the knees are looking straight to the ceiling and so are the toes. Nice and strong here. Focusing on the rib cage here, we're going to turn the ribs to the left leg, center, turn the ribs to the right, center, turn, center. This looks really easy, but this is very dynamic work. Double check that you're keeping your chin right over the chest. You're not cranking out that neck. Still really strong through the thighs. 4 more. Do you feel like you're getting any more motion here? Okay. The next time you're looking at the left leg, you're going to hold it here. Okay. Strong, powerful left thigh bone pulling down. Try to touch the ceiling with the crown of your head. Exhale, start to lean forward here over the knee. So the request today was lower back. So we're digging into that lower back. How do you get it to open? Deep, nourishing breaths, loving, nurturing thoughts. So sometimes I'm just like, hello, back. How you doing today? Sometimes it's peace and open. Whatever your mantra is, that's what you're that's what you're anchoring yourself with as you're thinking those thoughts over and over again as you're breathing into those spots, keeping the mind here. Feeling that gentle twist through the ribs. Both legs very active. 1 more deep breath. Beautiful. Inhale, come on up, and then very mindfully close it up and pause. Let the legs flop out. The mantras, when we repeat them over and over and over, is like an etch-a-sketch. You're just washing away chatter, just coming back to a grounding thought here and now. Okay, fire it up, turn them on, and exhale, turning and turning and turning. 5, keeping the chin over that chest. 4, this beautiful spine. It's just so perfect the way it could go. 1 more. The next time you're looking at your right leg, hold, fire it up, nice and strong. Telescope up, feel the top of the head reaching to the ceiling. Big inhale and exhale, anchoring that left hip down as you start to forward fold. Send all your thinking thoughts about this moment that you're in. Why? Because your body is listening. Two more big breaths. Stay here. One more deep breath. Beautiful. And gently come on up and close it there. Very nice. Gently bringing your legs together, keeping that breathing nice and steady. Remind yourself of what you're doing here. And let's come on into hands and knees. So for me, gentle yoga is always about moving through our energy and then taking a nice long relaxation at the end. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to move and then we'll take a nice long relaxation at the end. So start to move in your cat-cow. Anything goes here. Take your time. Whatever you want to do. You got another 5 breaths. Feels so good. Finding those hands on the mat. Equal space between each and every finger, including the thumb. Nice long armpits reaching up for the long spine as we take ourselves up. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You could send little love letters to your body, just really diving into the breath, managing the mind to stay here. You are in charge of those thoughts. Pick the ones that feel really productive or really loving or playful. 2 more deep breaths. Excellent. The next time you exhale, please gently walk your feet forward and come to standing forward fold. We can bend the knees here if that feels best for you. You could grab opposite elbows and let yourself hang. Sometimes I like to take my hands to the areas of my body where it feels tight, my lower back, the backs of my thighs, just to remind myself to breathe. Breathe into those sweet spots. 2 more deep breaths. One more. And then gently, either with a flat back or a rolling spine, slowly, slowly, slowly come on up. Very nice. All right, back to our mountain pose. Take your hands on your hips, bend your left knee and just open and close from the hip. Open and close, open and close. From the very top here. 3. You feel it. 2 and 1. Pause. Switch. 8, 7. It's nice to be here with you guys. 4. Everybody here together. 3. And 2. And 1. Good. Always moving from the hips. Maybe you'll jump your feet apart, maybe not. Take your left leg and turn it towards the top of your mat. Both knees are looking at that second, third toe. Now I want you to pause here for a moment and I want you to look at your right leg, okay? Oftentimes people are kicking that foot out. So do you see how my toes are spreading out? That is hurting my hip. I want to make sure that my knee is right over that second, third toe. So we have to keep this whole chain, second, third toe, middle knee, hip, always and forever. Somebody got kicked out. Okay. And then the same thing with this side, second, third toe, knee up to the hip, focusing on the lower back. Here we go. Arms open nice and wide, hinging and up. And if it feels too much with the arms, then put your hands on your hips. 2 and up, nice and fluid here. 3. Your spine goes up to the roof of your mouth. So that roof of the mouth and the tailbone are wanting to stay connected. This time we're going to take it over wherever you need. Some folks may want to use a block. I don't usually call it out because to me, it's not about going all the way to the floor. It's about keeping that line. And then I want you to take either your hand to the block, your hand to the leg. If you're working a little bit deeper, I want you to take your head in that palm of the hand and let that head rest. I'm going to show you my side angle here. If you want to look to the camera, I'm leaning right over. I'm not coming forward. Okay, so you want to be leaning right over. The outer right or outer left hip is moving behind you. 2 more deep breaths. Really getting in. Put a soft bend in that left leg. Come on up and pause. We're going to go back. We're going to do it again. Here we go. Hinging, this time sliding the hand down. And this time we're taking our right hand, put it on this flank, this area of your back, and see if you can put some deep breaths in there. Most everyone's probably got their head dropping. See if you can put the forehead slightly higher than the chin so that there's no crinks in the neck. Feeling that body moving. You've got 5 more breaths here. Those of you working deeper, pull the feet together. Feel yourself energetically turning on this pose. We put ourselves in this physical puzzle piece, but then we have to light it up inside. 2 more deep breaths. One more. Beautiful soft bend on that left knee. Come on up and pause. 3rd round. Going back in there. Y'all ready? Here we go. Taking it over again. Maybe it's getting better. Maybe it's getting more open. From the side again, the outer hip is moving back. as you're plugging in that big toe. So we don't need to go forward. We're leaning, trying to bring our armpit over that left knee. Okay, 5 more breaths. If you want to go to full triangle, feel free. Those of you maybe want to bind, this is your pose. What's your body need? How do you know? By turning that mind on into the moment we're in. Here and now. Good. Soft bend on that left knee. Pull yourself up from the very top. Close it and hold. And switcheroo. Right leg opens. 3 rounds here. Hinge and up. Moving from this pulling back of the thigh and up. 3. Feels so good. 4, just to get in there. 5. This next time we're going to take it over. Again, maybe you want to have a block. Maybe not. Just taking yourself over here. Just noticing. That bottom hand can come and hold that head. Just let yourself feel held here. Pretty dynamic. 2. Soft bend on that knee. Come on up and pause. Again, we're focusing on these areas, this lower back here. See if you can feel that breath going down there to massage those muscles. Second round out of 3. Hinging at the hip, taking your hand to the block or to the hip, to the area you want that breath. Touch is really an important way of learning about the body and a way of really grounding and nurturing yourself. You know, self-massage right now, really key. Get some oil, rub your feet, rub your shoulders, ask someone you live with to do it, exchange massages. Self-touch, very, very important. That skin hunger, feed it, you know. 3, touching your body at the area that needs that attention, breath. And 2. Beautiful. Soft bend and come on up. How's that feeling? Keeping that mind here. Last round, take it over again. See if there's maybe any change. We've got that outer right hip moving behind us. We're plugging in the big toe and full triangle here, taking that arm up. Those of you working deeper, you're pulling those feet together, spreading those thighs apart, feeling that energetic body turning on, keeping our lights on, really lighting up on the inside. 3. And 2. And gently come on up. Now we're going to close the hip again. We're going to do the same pose that we did at the beginning, but we're going to do it standing up. Now here's something, a little timeout. Look where my blocks are. I need to get my blocks. So instead of just torquing myself to get them, because that's where a lot of injuries occur, I've got to come all the way out of this pose. Move with mindfulness to set it up. Okay? So go ahead and get your blocks. Heels are wide, toes are a little bit in. This is what we were doing on our bottoms. And we're going to tilt ourselves over for Prasarita Padottanasana. Now you can decide using your blocks here. You can decide to take your hands to the floor. You could take your peace fingers around the big toes. You could take the crown of the head to the floor and turn the knuckles to the sky. If you had a wall by you, you could come up into a headstand. It's a really fun way to enter the headstands because we want to be playful here, whatever that is. This is our last standing pose. Take 3 more breaths there. Long spine. Let that heavy head drop. 2. Beautiful. Very, very nice. Soft bend on those knees and slowly flat back or rolling spine. Come all the way up. And again, taking our really nurturing time to close this pose up. Walk it in, and then we'll do a fancy, just move it around, just move it around, shake it off. Remember, our bodies hold patterns, so we want to wash that pattern away. All right, we're going to head to the floor now. Here we go, big inhale, and from the thigh bones, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine here, halfway up, really long. Exhale, bend your knees, step it back to downward facing dog. So we're going to start to turn into our really relaxed state. But before we do, we want to fire ourselves up one last time. So bring yourself into a push-up position. If you want to bring your knees down here, feel free. Push-up position, we're going to hold 3 rounds of 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Turning on that belly lock. Here we go, second round. I'm doing this, here we go, I'm counting 10. I'm doing this because a lot of you have a chattering mind and it's hard to relax at the end of these classes. So this is a great way to just really fire you up. 2, and rest. Especially these gentle yoga classes if you're looking around and your mind is wandering. So bring yourself here. Last round, 10, 9, 8, 7. Pushing into the thumb side of the hand. 4, 3, 2, and pause. Bring those knees down. Either sit in Vajrasana on your ankles, or if it doesn't feel nice, sit on your bottom. Just pause. Gently close your eyes for a moment wherever you are. And go back to that eraser, that mantra, that over and over again, here, now, here, and now. We'll take 1 minute. Very nice, very nice. Open your eyes. I'm going to show you standing what we're going to do so that you can have a clear picture. We're going to be on our back. And this is T.S. Little, one of my very favorite teachers, teaches this thing where you're just lifting. Okay, so you're pushing and you're just moving. We're going to be playing with that on our backs. So go ahead and lie down if you would. Coming into what we call Supta, which is reclining. Tadasana, which is mountain. So our knees and our toes are looking at the sky. Bring your hips, hands to the hip crests, right? The top of the pelvis. And now push your right foot towards the edge of the mat. Feel how the right hip or the opposite hip lifts up. Walking, pushing down and back and forth and back. I don't know if you could see it or not. Forth, just sliding. I'm not lifting up. Everything is still on the mat. I'm just moving back and forth. We're going to do this 10 more times. Your hands could go under your head. You could take them to the sides. It doesn't matter. Just let the fluidity of the motion relax you. Two, and pause. Let the legs drop out, whatever they want to do. Second round, fire up that mountain pose again. And here we go, pressing and press. There's no rush. Two and one. Relax, neutral. Let the legs flop out. The next time you exhale, bring your knees to bend, please. Feet and knees are hip distance apart. We're going to take the right knee towards the chest, interlace the fingers behind the back. Behind the back of the thigh, and extend the heel up. Okay, that's all we're going to do. Bend the knee and straighten, and bend and straighten. What's the work here? Relaxing the back muscles. How ooey gooey can you be? How ooey gooey can your back muscles be? 3 more. So when our backs are achy, a lot of times it's because our hamstrings are tight. Motion is lotion, moving those hips, moving those legs, okay? This next time, our heel is going to go to the ceiling, okay? And now we're going to point. We're going to point and we're going to hold. Take your leg far enough away from you that your elbows are straight and you're pointing. This is pretty dynamic. You could pretend, this is hard, that you have a marble in your toes. You're squeezing a marble. Some of you might even find that a Charlie horse is here. Just feel that action. Keep relaxing the back. 3 more deep breaths. Grab that marble, squeeze that marble. 2. And relax. Very nice. Knees to chest and come on down. Stomp it out. Yeah, very nice. Windshield wiper side to side. And then switcheroo. Let's take that left knee in. How does that feel? Neck and shoulders are nice and relaxed. Interlace fingers behind the back. I do like it when your elbows are straight here because then you're doing a little bonus neck stretch and you're focusing on really getting ooey gooey. Here we go. And bend and straighten. So here's a perfect opportunity for you to be jumping out of this class and thinking about what you're going to watch or think about what you're going to do. And that's what happens, right? As our mind just automatically leaves. And then this is just really a waste of time. So come back. Notice, like we did at the beginning, notice that you're jumping into the past. Notice that you're jumping into the future. And come back to this moment. Where do you feel it and what does it feel like? Deep Ujjayi breaths. Two more. Beautiful. And holding there, grab your marble and point. Keep relaxing the back. Keep breathing. Softening the back. 3 more deep breaths. Squeeze that marble. so good to be here with you. One more big breath. And gently, again, come on back. Feet on the floor and just let the knees fall side to side. Okay, so now we're going to do our strap work. And I'm going to do my fancy move here where I'm going to use just my little monkey feet. If you've got those skills, feel free to do it. But remember, grabbing the props is a part of this yoga class. So you have to take your integrity with you as you're grabbing, okay? We're going to take our strap around our left foot. Again, elbows straight is such a nice thing to do. And some of you will take that left leg out, some of you not. And we're going to focus. This is a move from Adil Pakiaval. He's a wonderful master teacher to the teachers. And he has a lower back sequence that's pretty famous, and this is part of it. What we're going to do is we're going to just notice that our hip is on the ground, okay? And we're just going to turn our leg over towards the left a little bit, not so much that the hip is lifting, okay? I'm using my right hand, right arm to hold the strap. I can do whatever I want with the other arm, and I'm going to hold here. 8 deep breaths. You could totally bend the knee if you needed to. Now, to keep the integrity of the pose, number one, we have the hips still sitting on the ground, the buttocks still sitting on the ground, but you're driving the big toe towards the ceiling. So you're keeping this inner leg reaching to the ceiling. The outer leg is moving to the floor. So from the pelvic floor up to the arch of the foot, it's rocket shipping to the ceiling, but from the pinky toe to the outer hip, it's moving to the floor. And this is a perfect example of what yoga can offer us in our lives. This feels really vulnerable for many of us. We're not good at it. We can just see all of our crapola. We can see how tight we are. And so we want to escape. We want to rush. We want to deny. We want to numb. But the work here is compassion and patience and acceptance. So I'm going to be quiet here for 4 deep breaths and just feel what's happening. Dive below. One more big breath. Soft bend on that knee. Come on up. Fancy pants move. Bring your other leg up and switch your Ruby. We don't know if this other leg needs to be bent on this one or not. It's a whole new leg. So you got to start from square one and see what's happening. Is it okay? Not. Opposite arm, opposite leg, same thing. Keeping the hip on the floor, keeping the buttock on the floor. Start to extend that leg over towards crossing your body, but not enough that you're lifting up. Driving, feeling, drop. Notice how uncomfortable you are. Notice how vulnerable you feel, how bad at it is. Garbaginess. And then come back to sweet. Compassion, acceptance, patience, maybe forgiveness. It's right now. And I'm okay. Keep dropping the muscles of your back. You've got 3 more deep breaths. soft bend on that knee. And come on up and relax, bringing your knees up again, windshield wiper your knees side to side, maybe even taking happy baby. As always, we're looking for happy babies, not crabby babies. So if you're looking behind you, it means you're grabbing too high up on the, or too low down on the legs. You need to come up to the thighs or the calves. Okay, take 5 breaths like that. Joyful, playful, fluid. Good. All right, beautiful. Gently now, I want you to roll over to the side and come to sit up for our final pose. This is what we've been working for, okay? Most of us are sitting a lot more, and so we're feeling this movement of like concaving over. So I'd like you to use your blanket, maybe even when you're sleeping, okay? You decide what you need to do. You can take it, first of all, we're gonna do a little bit of a fan roll. So you're just gonna do a little bit of like this thing. Hope you can see that. Okay, so I have this little edge, and if you don't have this and all you have are blocks will work perfectly. And I want you to put it right over your right where your bra strap would be. Okay, so you're going to lie down. If you wanted to use your blocks for your knees, that would be nice too. So you're right on those shoulder blades, opening up. If this feels nice for you, if it feels too intense on your lower back, which for some of you, it definitely will. So we don't want to have a relaxing pose that's stressful. Then you, and if you're even questioning if it's right for you, then I would say skip it. For you, you're going to take it lengthwise. You're going to curl the top under. You're going to sit your bottom on the blanket, and then this little pillow here is our head can drop off a little bit. So we would walk our feet wide and our knees together on this one. So find something. And if either one of those not serving you today, then find something else for sure. Okay, but settle in whatever you're wanting to do for this couple of minutes here. And I know you want to skip this pose. Don't you skip this pose. I used to skip the pose too. So I know you all. I know those who want to. It feels like a waste of time, but it's not. It's the time we process the work. It's very, very important. So here we are, getting yourself in a comfortable position. I'm going to watch the time for you so you can gently close your eyes. And this month, our healthy habit in the inner circle is gratitude. Gratitude and journaling practice. So I'd like you to do an inner journaling exercise here as you relax into your spot. So settling in now. Settling in, letting the breath drop. You don't need to do anything special with your breathing. There's no more techniques. Just relaxing the face, the muscles around the eyes, the front of your chest. And the inner journaling question right now is, what about myself? What about myself am I grateful for? And another way to say that is, what about myself would I miss if it were gone? My sense of humor, my great eyesight, my hair. What about yourself would you miss if it were gone? My compassion, my ability to listen, my amazing bread. Okay, I want you to think about something about yourself that you would miss if it were gone. And I want you to take a minute right now, about 8 to 10 breaths, and just be so, 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 so grateful for it. Allow yourself to feel grateful. What does that feel like to be grateful? Whatever it is, so, so, so grateful. This about me, not my family, me. Take about a minute here. Give yourself a big hug. Wrap your arms around yourself. Give yourself a big, big hug. And if you want to close up the class with me, then roll off to either side and come to sit up. But if you're ready to just recline here, I'll close up with you, just reclining, and then you can enjoy another 10 minutes of a Shavasana. So your choice. Either come up or be where you are, and we'll do our close. Take your time sitting up nice and tall or relaxing the arms to the sides. And as always, may we sit in the spirit of gratitude. Not just when things are easy, not just when things are going our way, but also when things are really hard, when things are really mysterious or challenging or humbling or downright terrifying. Can we sit in the spirit of gratitude in these scratchier lessons too? Can we lean into that gratitude? It is these lessons that show us who we are. And who are you? Who are you right now? Thank you so much for coming. Global togetherness. We are all here. As always, may this be of benefit to you, to others, and namaste. Very nice. If you want to stay for some chatting, stay. If you want to go, go. And go spread your light. Keep your lights on, y'all. All right. Ending the recording.